Hello everyone. Today I will continue the 7th part of the series about how to make an archviz project for beginners from SketchUp to Unreal Engine. In this video, I will show you how to use the toolkit modeling of Unreal Engine 5. If you can't find it anywhere, then go to the plugin and find modeling tools. If it's already enabled, then it's fine. If not, check the box and restart UE. Then open it. On it here. It will bring up a tool panel. First we will do with the basic blocks. You can take the title bar and drag anywhere you want. Here there is a block of the edit toolbox will be on this side. You can adjust the length, height, width, etc. The subdivision section is showing the grid.
Let's go.
You can turn on the wireframe to check the larger the number, the larger the grid. This grid for what? Geometric displays such as embossed and rough objects will need these grids. The more meshes, the higher the detail, especially in the world position. Similar to boxes, spheres, as well as the patterns that UE uses built in here also have similar methods. These last two are plain. They are 2D plain and do not show height. Create part, you will create blocks based on such lines that will be customized according to your needs, each person's requirements. Path.ext is similar, but they create a hollow core. Its offset is similar to SketchUp. Still drawing as usual and pulling on this path rev will create a block around the axis. You can use it to draw columns or base. Similar to the follow command in SketchUp. They will rely on the purple axis as the center and rotate around. The correction, then, of course there will be times when we will need it. But the UE is one the software is more prone to. Normal simulation if we need to be precise. We will model in SketchUp. But UE can perform various types of model is relatively complex in geometry. UE manages meshes better than SketchUp. But in terms of accuracy, it's not very good. Everything can be approximated. And UE's unit is centimeters. When you have spawned blocks, please select it and press Ctrl+B. It will find the path to the location where the model is saved in the folder. These are the objects that I created earlier. Now we will get acquainted with the tool. Plus or subtract block. Here is combine block. This is subtract block. Can choose target to subtract which. Part of intersection will remove. Or just take the intersection. This is the granularity of the production object. Created objects after being addition or subtraction will exist as a completely new object. In general, it is very simple. It is the addition or subtraction of blocks. And the pattern in create is to create a series of identical blocks, similar to the original. You can choose the number, the amount that you want to. Have two forms to copy. One is in a straight line, or in a plane. It is relatively laggy. I will use a box. To simplify the shape part, C.
Rhythm is a dancer. That's a rumor on the block. But you can make me dance.
But while doing the job,
Like no other I have found.
you can completely use
Rolling through the hills at night.
UE's modeling toolkit.
Stage is set.
It can still help you get the job done.
All the stars. You make me, you make me, you make me, you make me, you
The try model part will have ways to model like in other software, like 3ds Max, Blender, C4D. We can select the chord selection vertex. Or plane. This is the part of the tool that can handle faulty objects that you have imported from outside into UE. Your try select part you can choose through Paint, and the tried part through your selection of specific objects. This mirror tool is also very good. It can help you model symmetrical objects. You can still rotate, change position. Pin cut, then you can cut along the plane.
I feel nauseous, believe me. Never had a lot of shit come easy. Had to work hard, struggle just to be.
And the trim part is like the plus part, except for the block. You need to choose two objects A, B.
But the only thing in life that has meaning are the things you gotta work for, believe me. Take into your hands a plan, your own hands can land your own brand. And damn, I feel like no one takes accountability. They want the credibility, convincingly unwilling to put in the hours it takes to get some power. Don't be f***ing sour, take a cold shower, scream until.
But trim will subtract directly at the object you choose, without having to creates a new object. So it does not create a plane between the intersection. This part of VoxOps will create a new object.
It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown.
However, when a new object is created, it will have a lot of problems. It's polygon, and it's not smooth. I'll give an example with two objects that are full of materials here.
Let's go. I'm just telling you to fight for your dreams, but it's not what it seems. Man, it's hard to be seen when everybody wants to be king.
You see, this is a new object. It doesn't show the material. And it seems that the final product is really rudimentary. But for trim, it will subtract directly. That float. That's different.
It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown.
For the deform, we're going to do on these stones. You'll see it's a flat surface with no roughness. So to make how rough it is in reality, we are going to choose VSCLPT tool. Oh, I seem to have forgotten how to remesh. We need to redo this object. Because there are so few planes. That can't put rough blocks on. We will increase the mesh on. Us will see the stone next to it to compare. The other side is the mesh created by nanite. And here is the static mesh. When the mesh is more, we can make the blocks clear. But if you edit too many meshes, it will be very heavy. After we remesh, it will make roughness easy. We will make roughness with the unremeshed part. You will find that it won't work properly. There will be horizontal stripes like the wire part the arc you saw earlier. So please remesh. The display with nanite, it will be different than the static mesh display. I will turn off nanite so you can easily imagine. This is a new technology of UE, helping the project. To contain objects, there is a huge amount of mesh. Now I will make it look like a stone. Here is the result. You will see it is different than before the VSCLP tool. This is the same, only the vertex. We can enlarge the paint tool here. World is based on the scale of the 3D world, and not according to the scale of each object. Fall off is to soften the edges, not to make too sharp. This part will be like the terrain creation part. I will guide you in the upcoming.
Fell in love in the metaverse. Don't be mad at me, cause I met it first. Falling all on me in a mini skirt. Don't be mad at me, it's the metaverse. Now we singing like la la la, la 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 la. Dancing to this song like all night long.
Video,
Yeah.
please use and learn more about it.
La 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 la.
There will be many great applications.
You make me fall apart inside. When I look you in your eyes, I'm so mesmerized. It took me by surprise. It took me by surprise. Baby,
And warp
I
is for
know
dragging
what you
objects
need.
arc.
Come and roll with me. Come and rock with me. For come all on me, yeah. Me, yeah. Got Versace all on me. Got a Mary all on me, yeah. Me, yeah. Why you silence all on me, baby? Pull up to the VI. Oh yeah, yeah. Fell in love in the metaverse. Don't be mad at me, cause I met it first. Falling all on me in a mini skirt. Don't be mad at me, it's the metaverse. Now we singing like la la la, la 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 la. Dancing to this song like all night long, yeah. La la la, la 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 la.
And lattice, it will let you transform the object
Till the sun came out bright yellow. Holding
in the
hands
form
up.
of
We didn't want to say but couldn't let go. In a moment, our eyes met and our minds spoke. But no more talking, just one the sounds of me and you. Now
this tool frame, commonly used with pillows or fabric materials.
so show me without
It will
words.
look more natural.
Take me home. Ooh, shut up and take me home. Ooh, shut up and take me home. Ooh, shut up and take me home. Shut up and take me home.
Or create roughness, we will have another way. We will use displace.
Morning after, lay around and
However, it will
lounge
create
out.
roughness for the whole
Grab some
object.
breakfast, 'cause you know it's what I'm about.
You can set the pitch.
Netflix movie, see a show from the crowd.
Equals 0, then nothing will happen. It
You know it's on my mind like that.
can be created using normal map texture.
Anything but us. So show me
We'll
without
use for height
words.
maps.
Shut up and take me home. Ooh, shut up and take me home. Ooh, shut up and take me home. Ooh,
Or also can use normal map.
shut up and take me
The level of accuracy will be better.
Shut up and take me home. Shut up and take me home. Shut up and take me home. Now we don't need anything but us. So show me without words. Shut up and take me home. Ooh, shut up and take me home. Ooh, shut up and take me home. Ooh, shut up and take me home. Shut up and take me home. Now we don't need anything but us. So show me without words. Shut up and take me home. Ooh, shut up and take me home. Ooh, shut up and take me home. Ooh, shut up
Now we
and
will
take
deal
me
with imported
home.
object.
Shut up and take me. Shut up and take me
However, here,
home.
it looks like it is faulty, usually with objects with only one face. but not a complete block. This will happen, i.e. with plane, the back side will be see-through. The front it will show. This is why I did the instructions on the surface in the current video number 4. This light is facing inward. So to handle this case, we do the following. You use the Tride tool. Then select all. You choose to flip, then the face will be flipped. You can use it to flip objects that have one or more broken faces. Like this, it is flipping out.
You just wanna tell me how I mess up. Take a look inside, you ain't no angel, nah. Bending over backwards just to please ya. Even got you added to my leash, yeah. Told myself that I would never leave ya.
And now the face is facing in. But for objects like this lamp, we will deal another way. First, we will deal with the material. This case is very commonly used on single-sided foliage. You should choose two-sided. Fabrics such as curtains are also common. But this method will not work for you. Caution: either build light mass, such as UE's basic light mass build, or GPU light mass plugin used on NVIDIA cards.
Hear the wind in the trees in winter, like a sweet lullaby.
Objects are flipped like tea, everything will be black.
Running free as a child with
Or error.
red cheeks.
Or collision is not correct.
Snow with small feet.
Now, I will turn it off to deal with it by two.
Wish I could stay awake, so I don't
We will extrude to create a closed object.
snowflake.
We will drag it up.
A cup of hot honey tea in your
So it is closed two sides.
A little bird on the branch sings sweet songs. Take it slow, 'cause you know it won't last. Wish the rest of the year was less fast.
Now we are going to edit the UV texture.
Bathing everything
With this table, the texture is not correct.
in yellow. Please don't.
First, I will introduce the moving the texture. With the Transform UV tool, you can move back and forth, or you can rotate. Also with the more complex object, curved surface like this. Then we will use Project. This is the channel that shows. You select the box to rotate the UV directions according to the cube. So the faces will be in the form of triplanar. variance will be directed to the faces of the cube. Or shape cylinder, ECT. But that's correcting the UVs according to the shape of the object. Now we will edit as each plane separately. For example, now I just want to change the top face to another material, then we will choose mated. This is the old material before. We will create more slots. I will choose, for example, a certain material.
Ready? It's time.
So we have added get another material.
The whole world starts to change.
After we change it, then add the old material, it stays the same.
Ready? Let's go.
That is the part 1 gave a brief introduction to the modeling tool. After we have processed all the materials, now we will include the separate object into a single object. This will help you reduce the loading process of the software.
The whole world starts to change.
For example, with this table, it is still discrete wooden sticks that take up a lot of memory and are quite troublesome to move. As well, reuse the object with the project later.
It's all around me. The whole world starts to change.
We will now merge them. However, you need to do the UV process carefully too. Finish everything, because the merge phase is the final stage of an object. I will be working on, for example, for you to easily visualize. For example, here I put the same material. That these pillows have a lot of polygons. If you use the method of changing the material like before, it will be very difficult. I will use the merge tool here. You select the objects to merge. Choose this so they replace the existing object with a new one without having to spawn. This is a new object after we merge. The material section only shows the materials that exist in the previous object. When we change it, it will change the whole thing. We will return to the table you chose the actor to represent. To select quickly, we will use the key combination Ctrl plus Shift plus D instead of selecting each object. Later, you want to use it again, it will be much simpler. But we need to change the original coordinate axis of the object, because there are objects with local coordinate axis located very far from the object. That makes it difficult to manipulate. We will find pivot it here. Bottom, the coordinate axis is below. Similar to top, left, right. ECT. After you merge, remember to do pivot right away. For example, ceiling lights, you have everything in place. It should look like this. Now I will change pivot. Other objects of same origin will naturally change according. So keep this in mind. I usually use the pivot at the bottom with the objects. At the bottom. Of our lesson, this is the end. Of the next video, I will show you how to create topographic landscapes, foliage. Thank you for watching. If you find the video useful, please give me one like and one share. It can help me get more motivated to produce tutorial videos in the future. Thank you, see you later.